Today I want to talk about becoming your own number one. Okay, putting yourself first, people. That's what we need to do. A lot of times in our life, we put other people first and we neglect ourselves for their sake. And I want to tell you that how we have to stop that. We have to become our number one first. Oh, this is Tom, and this is the INFJ experience. So, yeah, we tend to have that tendency to put other people first. I mean, mainly because we are extroverted feelers, all right? I mean, yes, of course, we're in our head first. We're introverted. We're introverted, intuitive, that kind of thing. But our second function, is extroverted feeling. They're saying there's a lot of stereotypes about INFJs are that, they're very good people that want to help. They're always looking to help. They're always putting themselves out there, and they're always helping people out. And if people look to them for guidance, when people actually come looking for them to help them, then they're almost feel obligated to, because that's just the way they are. Their FE has no boundaries either. In fact, I want to discuss what that means someday. The FE has no boundaries. So after saying that, the FE is basically keeping us in that spot where we feel like we have to go all out of our way just to feel needed. See, we also have a sense of purpose. We also have a sense of belonging that we want. And we're usually isolated people. We're isolated, we're intuitive, but we also have a sense of belonging, and we have that feeling where we're always trying to help. So that might put us at a disadvantage. So we may find ourselves doing things for people, going out of our way to do things, pleasing people, keeping people happy, keeping things in harmony, keeping people pepped up if they look depressed, at the expense of our own selves, by the way. Because we're reaching out, because we might extend ourselves out all the time, we will end up burning out because of it. Because we're thinking we're doing the right thing, and also at the end of the day, we might be sitting there saying, "Yeah, I'm burned out, I'm exhausted right now." But you know what? It was worth it because so and so is feeling better, and we actually will tell ourselves that. Say, "Yeah, but it was for the right thing because they're doing better now, at your expense." Now, I guess this is my point: is that maybe some of you INFJs are saying, "I don't do that," or "I haven't." Now, personally, I haven't been like that in years, but as a much younger man, I remember doing things like that a little bit more often, and it was causing much of my exhaustion and a lot of my fatigue, and actually causing more suffering when I felt as though I was just being taken advantage of for it. And so I guess that was the reality of it, is the fact that all these things happen, is that we're throwing ourselves out there. We're giving too much of ourselves. We're getting burned out in the process. We're becoming exhausted. And ultimately, it's almost like we could feel like we're being taken advantage of in some ways when we're putting ourselves out there. And so that's why I think that bottom line is we have to make sure that we preserve ourselves. So INFJs have to, we have to basically at some point put roadblocks into who we are, into what we do. First of all, we have to know that we do have our priorities. I mean, if you're parents, obviously, and you have children to take care of them, I mean, you don't put yourself first over them. There are certain people that depend on you in your life. If there are certain things that you have to maintain, yeah, of course, that's your priority first. I mean, that goes without saying. I mean, if you're taking care of an elderly parent, maybe if you're a guardian over somebody, then of course they take the priorities, and that's always never going to be the different than that. But I'm talking about your internal batteries. I'm talking about who you are as an INFJ. If you feel as though you're putting yourself out there and you're giving your heart to people at your own expense, where you are being depleted, you are being burned out because of it, then that isn't a good thing. Especially if there's certain things that they're going to have to at some point adapt to do. I mean, we tend to go put ourselves out of our way for our friends and things like that. When it does come down to a point of overextending, giving ourselves to people with nothing in return, or with, like I said, being taken advantage of, then there is a problem there. So at some point in our life, we have to say no. We have to learn to say no, and I know that's one of those tough things to do. If somebody calls and asks for help, and if you really just can't do it, if you feel as though your priorities aren't going to go, or if you're already saying this is going to burn you out, this is going to just deplete you, you don't have to do things that are outside of your comfort zone. You really don't. You need to put yourself first, and occasionally you might have to say no to people. All right. Obviously, if it's just something mundane or whatever, then saying no. But I mean, obviously, if they're really in serious, dire need of something, if it's critical, then I mean, yeah, you don't want to leave somebody high and dry. But if it's something they're well within their capability of, and they want to just kind of put it on you, you don't have to do things that are going to just put you into those burnout zones. All right. And that leads me into number two, priorities. Yeah, just keep your priorities. Yeah, you know what's within yourself. You know what is within your capabilities and your priorities. You gotta put your own priorities first. You gotta maintain your life first. You have certain things you gotta put in. Like I said, maybe it's your children. Maybe it's an elderly parent. It could be you're a caregiver for somebody. Those could be your priorities. But also your priorities are you have to go to work for a living. You got to pay your bills. You've got to maintain your home. You got to maintain your life around you. These are your priorities that you have to. You don't want to take away from yourself and your own priorities just because somebody else is in crisis. At some point, somebody else has to realize these are your priorities, and you can't just extend yourself out for everybody if it's going to deplete you or take it away from your own priorities as well. That leads me into number three, self-care. Yeah, basically, you got to self-care, take care of yourself. And that kind of leads me into my priorities, which is one of the same. Yeah, you got to take care of yourself. You got to make sure your batteries are charged. You got to make sure you are well rested. You are well in your own mind and your own sanity, and you're not being overly burned out. You're not exhausted from overstimulation, whatever it is. You got to make sure that you do that right, okay? And if you have to stay alone a bit, maybe leave the phone off the hook and don't answer those emails, or maybe even just tell people that you really can't do it. You're just not up to it. You know, you're not feeling right now. You're just unable to do something. You have to do that. You have to make sure your self-care is better, is right. So that leads me into you first. That's basically what this all is. I mean, at some point, people, you got to put yourself first. You just have to make sure that you are taken care of. I mean, yes, we're loners and we're lone wolves by default. And yes, but we do have that extroverted feeling, and that's always going to reach out. But you got to make sure that reaching, that longing, that wanting to be, to save the world, to help the world, to make the world a better place, to make people around you in harmony is somehow, if it is causing you any kind of burnout, if it's depleting you, then it's really not worth it. You really just can't keep that up. So, I mean, you're not responsible for the world. That's another thing. You may live here, but you're not responsible for everybody. Everybody's responsible for themselves. We ultimately are responsible for ourselves. I mean, obviously, we're responsible for our children and our ones that need us. Different story. Let's set that aside. We ultimately are responsible for ourselves, and so is everybody else. And it's not up to us. It really, it may sound cold, it may sound heartless, but it is not up to us to make sure everybody else is happy, is in a good frame of mind. That is their responsibility. And like I said, may sound harsh. Maybe you don't want to hear that, but you have to put that mindset into you and become you first. Make sure that you are full. And after you are full, after you are energized, and when you have a full heart, when you have a full soul, a full conscience, and you're not overextended, then find things. I mean, you could help out at that point when you feel as though you're able to help, but make sure that the help that you're offering has limits. Okay, you're not going to help to the point where you're burned out anymore. Don't overextend yourself, and make sure that your limits are also held if you want to help out people like that. So just keep these things in mind and put yourself first, people. That'll make yourself a little better off. All right. So anyway, people, I hope you got something out of that. Again, this is our calling. This is our sanctuary. This is my calling, I should say. And this is the sanctuary. This is the INFJ experience right here. And so, this is our sanctuary. This is a place we can go. And hopefully you got a little bit of something out of that. But anyway, people, if you would, subscribe to my channel. Give me some thumbs up and give me some encouragement that I'm doing a good thing here, that you like this content, and I'll make some more, and I'll be back, and I'll do this again. Well, anyway, people, I want to thank you so much for attending today, and so until the next time, everyone have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day.